Well, now it would appear that this is my 100th video here on YouTube, minus the videos that I have deleted in the past, and I am going to be talking about my personal favorite technique for lucid dreaming. It's a wild style technique, and I have used this technique countless times to induce this wonderful altered state of consciousness. So I'm just going to dive right on in, free flowing, no editing, no merging clips together. Let's see if I can do this in one take. I am going to try to keep this video relatively short. I can talk about this technique for over an hour, but really that's not very feasible to do in one take here on YouTube. So I'm going to compress this down. There are lots of different variations of this technique, but I am going to talk about the most basic one, the one that is most common, the one that I have had most success with. So here we go. This technique starts during the day in the form of visualizing and daydreaming exercises. You want to visualize yourself with as much detail as you possibly can. You rolling out of your bed onto the floor of your room. Really paint this picture in your mind. See it with as much detail as you can. You making the rolling motion onto the floor. Think about what your floor feels like, what the rolling motion feels like, and really believe that you are going to experience another version of this in a dream, not just daydreaming. This is going to happen. You are going to roll out of your bed onto the floor of your room and be in the dream. So throughout the day, bring your mind back to this daydream and play that over and over and over again as many times as you possibly can within reason. Then prior to bed, you are going to paint that same daydream in your mind as you are drifting off to sleep. And you are going to have your focus, your intention on recognizing when you wake up in the middle of the night, at the end of a natural sleep cycle, because this is when your brain chemistry is really primed to achieve this altered state of consciousness, and your chance of slipping into sleep paralysis is much more likely. So, as you are drifting off to sleep, you are really painting that picture over and over again, seeing yourself roll on out, while also thinking about, I will recognize when I wake up in the middle of the night. Am I awake yet? Am I awake yet? Am I awake yet? Have I just woken up? Is it the middle of the night yet? And so forth. Once you realize that you have just awoken in the middle of the night, you want to bring your thoughts to don't move. You want to try to remain completely still in the position that you just awoken in. You also want to be playing that daydream, that visualization in your mind of you rolling out of your bed onto the floor of your room. Now, you may feel itches, an urge to clear your throat, just like I have now. Actually, it's actually really annoying. There, that's actually better. So you are nice and still, and you are resisting the urges to move. They are likely to build up to the point of actually being a little bit painful. If possible, though, I urge you to really just resist and remain still. Other than the clear your throat one, that one is just so annoying, and it's really effortless to clear. It does not require actually moving much, so the chances of it breaking sleep paralysis, I feel like, are fairly low. So I just like to get rid of that one, or else it drives me a little bit crazy and I'm just like, roar. So you are remaining perfectly still with intentions of rolling your consciousness out of your bed onto the floor of your room. If you slip into sleep paralysis, you may feel a wide variety of different sensations. You may feel like you are floating, sinking, falling. You may see through your closed eyelids. It may feel like something or somebody is touching you. That certainly is not my favorite. You may feel intense vibrations as well. Try to stay calm, and if fear arises, you can attempt to balance your emotions with the feeling of love. Love can neutralize the feeling of fear within altered states and borderline altered states like sleep paralysis. So you are laying there, maybe you're buzzing, maybe you feel other strange sensations, and maybe you feel nothing at all, which actually can be like a cue, a sign to know that you have slipped into sleep paralysis, because if you were previously laying there, ignoring itches and urges to roll over and move, it hurts, but then, whew, it's like nothing. It's gone. Where did that itch go? Well, you have very likely slipped into sleep paralysis, whether if you have any of the other sensations or not. So you have just awoken in the middle of the night, you remembered not to move, you're staying still, you're visualizing in your mind with as much detail as you can, rolling out of bed, rolling out of bed, rolling out of bed. You even have the words within your mind playing. I will roll out of bed, I will roll out of bed, I will roll out of bed, roll out now, 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 roll, 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 roll. You want to will yourself to roll your consciousness out of your bed onto the floor of your room into the dream. Now, if this happens, then that is a direct approach. You have initiated this altered state without falling asleep first and went directly into it, wild style, or depending on your belief system, like astral projection. However, something else can happen here. You can actually fall asleep, and this isn't a bad thing, because while you no longer have chances at directly entering into this altered state, you can indirectly enter. You can end up having a dream about rolling out of your bed onto the floor of your room. All right, and then become lucid that way. So you fall asleep first, have a dream about it, and then become aware of the fact that you are dreaming, opposed to staying awake and directly entering this altered state. So both ways will bring you there. You really want to sharpen your intention, your focus, your will, your confidence, and your belief that you will roll out of your bed onto the floor of your room. Something that I like to do prior to actually getting into bed is another exercise that I call role play rolling out of bed, or role play roll out of body. And you might look like a crazy person, but prior to bed, you get into bed and you pretend that you had just woken up in the middle of the night. You remember everything that you need to remember. You remember to stay still, scan your body for signs of sleep paralysis sensations, or pay attention for the disappearing itches or disappearing urges to roll over. All right? Focus inwards and just really believe you will roll out of bed, and actually practice it. Really roll out onto the floor of your room and pretend for just a moment that I did it. I did it. I'm in a lucid dream. I did it. Let me stabilize it. Let me interact with my senses, touch my body, touch the floor, pay attention to textures and details. Try to make the dream more vivid. Vividness now. High definition color now. You can say to yourself, you can start to think about what you want to experience after you become lucid as well, just for about a minute or so, maybe even 30 seconds, and then get back into bed and do it again. and then get back into bed and do it again, and then do it again and again. Hopping into bed, pretending that you just had woken up in the middle of the night, pretending to go through the motions of sleep paralysis, pretending to roll your consciousness out of your bed onto the floor of your room, pretending to roll out, pretending first. But this is practice for the real thing, for actually getting yourself to roll out of your bed into the dream and recognize the experience for what it is. Really know that, all right, I'm in a dream. I'm actually still in bed right now, sleeping. Or I had just fallen asleep, but as I did, I transitioned directly into this experience. I have started my dreams off this way countless times, usually in my room, or oddly enough, my old room before I moved to this house, or my old room. It's almost like my dream consciousness is like stuck or prefers my old room. That is my most likely exit point before I moved 2 times ago. Even if I'm here in my new house and I roll out of my bed, I'm likely not here. I'm likely in one of my old rooms, even though I have been here for over 2 years. So yeah, in short, that is my favorite technique. There is certainly different variations of this and other things that you can be doing to help improve the success rate of this technique. And you know what? Now that they are coming to my mind, I might as well talk about them opposed to wrapping this video up, which I was going to do. Let's talk about the rocking sensation, and this can help to complete the rolling motion of rolling out of your bed. As you are laying there, as you're visualizing your success, you really want to try to imagine what it would feel like to be rocking back and forth like this. And a sensation can arise in sleep paralysis, even though you are motionless, because you are rocking your consciousness back and forth. What I like to do is take my attention and my focus and put it on my right shoulder blade and then switch it to my left and then go right, left, create this phantom rocking sensation. If you are lucky enough to get the phantom rocking sensation, it can help to complete the actual rolling out of bed motion onto the floor of your room. I also like to try to visualize me making the muscle movements. It's almost hard to explain this with words, but let's say I'm focusing on my right shoulder blade here, all right? And I want to roll out. I'm starting that way, all right? So I'm almost visualizing my shoulder extending out in the direction that I want to go. I'm trying to feel the muscles making that movement, even though they are not. I'm trying to really will myself to make that rolling motion out of my bed onto the floor of my room. And there are even more techniques that come to my mind, but I have been ranting onwards now for, wow, nearly 14 minutes in a straight continuous line. So I'm like, cotton mouth, need water, need a break, need to breathe. That was a good video though. I hope that you took some insights and knowledge from it. And if so, please consider liking, dropping a comment to fuel the algorithm, subscribing, all of that good stuff. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you have yourself a great day. Consider checking out my flow page link. You can find it at the top as well as in the description. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep it out of the description because I have a theory that these algorithms, they do not like direct links that take people off of their platforms onto other platforms and websites. So I'm going to keep the direct link out of it because I want this video to have a chance at performing fairly well. If you are still listening to me rant here after 15 minutes, wow, you're a champion. I'm going to wrap it up for now. peace out, and may you travel the stars tonight. May you become so aware that you are aware within a space in the mind that's free from time, where all is possible, bound only by your imagination.